All right, so here's our next question. Malika and Adrian prepared containers of potato salad at a deli. Each container was supposed to have a mass of 1 pound. The manager selected a random sample of containers prepared by each employee to check the mass of each container. The results are shown in the table below. So take a look. We have Malika's containers and we have Adrian's containers. Okay. Now, very important when we're dealing with something that is random sample. Okay. As we've gone over during class, random. Okay. We're not looking for things such as this. Malika will produce more containers with a mass of exactly 1 pound than Adrian will. Once again, this word exactly, we usually want to stay away from this word when we're dealing with random. Picking a random student, it's not going to be exact. Okay? So we can eliminate choices A and B. They cannot possibly be answers just by looking at the word exactly. So we have the next one. Most of Malika's containers will have a mass closer to 1 pound than most of Adrian's. Most of Adrian's containers will have a mass closer to 1 pound than most of Malika's containers. Okay? So take a look at these right here. Okay? Which are closer to our 1 pound. This one's 30 away, 21 away. This is 21 away, 10 away, 12 away. So all we're doing is comparing that to those. Once again, if I need to write that down, 30 away, 21 away, 21 away, 10 away, and 12 away. Compare it to these. 10 away, 8 away, 5 away. Once again, I'm doing this just by subtracting from 1 or 1 minus these smaller ones. That's 2 away. So it looks like for the most part, Malika's are closer to 1. That's what I wanted, right? Mass closer to 1 pound. So Malika's are much closer. Now, it's not going to happen every time. As we see, there's 10 here and 10 here. But for the most part, it seems to be Malika's more consistent and closer to 1. So we're going to have to go with choice C right here. Most of Malika's are closer. Take a look at the next one. Sarah is playing a board game. The probability that Sarah will score a point on her next turn is 1 out of 3. Which statement describes the probability that Sarah will score a point on her next turn? Well, there's 1 out of 3 chance, meaning 1 out of every 3 turns, Sarah should score a point. Okay? So it's definitely not certain. Certain is 100% or 1. Impossible is 0 or 0%. So it's either likely or unlikely. If I think about it, 1 out of 3, okay? If I would think of a circle, 1 out of 3, where our 1 represents Sarah scoring a point, it's more likely to land in other places. So in this case, it's more likely that she doesn't score a point. There's 2 out of 3 chance she doesn't score a point. So in this case, it is unlikely that Sarah is going to score a point. Okay? Continuing on. A rhombus with side length S is shown below. There's our rhombus, side length S. Now remember, a rhombus has all sides that are the same length. Okay? That's going to be very helpful. The perimeter P of a rhombus is proportional to the length of each side S. Which equation represents this relationship? So if I think of perimeter, we have gone over perimeter before. Perimeter should be a topic you learned in, I believe, 3rd grade maybe. And perimeter is adding all my sides. So if this side is S, this side is also S, which this side is also S, and this side is also S. So my perimeter, just without even looking at my answer choices, my perimeter should be S plus S plus S plus S. Clearly not any of my choices there. Don't see it at all. What I do see, though, is that I can combine like terms here. Here's technically one S and another S and another S and another S, giving me a total of 4 S's is equal to my perimeter. Now, all of a sudden, that matches one of my choices, and that matches choice A. So choice A must be the answer to that problem. Moving on to the next one. Salid bought 35 feet of window trim at a hardware store. The trim cost $1.75 per foot, including sales tax. If Salid paid with a $100 bill, how much change should he have received? So there's a lot going on with this problem. First of all, he's buying 35 feet. Okay, I'm not worried about sales tax. Sales tax is already included. So not worrying about that. So I'm buying 35 feet at $1.75 per foot. So what I'm going to need to do here is multiply those numbers. 35 times $1.75. And there we go, 25, carry the 2, 37, carry the 3, 8, placeholder, 15, 22, 5, add them up. And we should get $61.25, which should match choice C, except the question is, I have to look at what the question is asking. So lead paid with a $100 bill, how much change should he have received? So we're not actually looking for how much did it cost, we are rather looking at how much he should receive. So we're going to take that $100 and subtract our $61.25, which without even doing it, I should be able to just look at the answer choices and say, well, I know which one it is. But anyway, we have 75 cents, and that's going to change to a 9, so it's going to be an 8, and 38. So our answer should be $38.75. That must be my answer choice because it's asking about the change and not about how much it's going to cost. Here's the cost. Here's the change after he is paid with $100.